Good evening, KSM.
Good evening.
My name is Mavis Amega, the founder of Miss Foundation. I'm here with my colleague.
Yeah, so I'm Wise Chukudi lecturer.
Okay.
A dietitian, and we work together on the foundation.
Okay. Okay. So you handle the dieting aspect?
Yeah, so yes, we handle the dieting and various other aspects of operations of the. So mostly putting together the medical team for our programs, and then when we engaged communities, we try to marry the awareness that we create with healthy lifestyles so that it can help in prevention, and even the few cases that we pick up, the aspect of management, their nutrition and all that, take charge of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So apparently I watched one of your videos on TikTok, and that was what created curiosity. I wanted to know more about your condition. Miss Foundation is actually formed to create prostate cancer awareness because my dad happened to be a victim of SIM, and he passed away in 2010.
Oh,
So
my condolences.
thank you very much. So when I listened to your video, I was quite touched because you're already into the journey of creating the awareness, because most of the men we know are not aware of this condition, and some have heard a lot of strange stories about it, and they are so scared that they don't even want to get themselves tested. So my father's own actually happened because I think he got diagnosed earlier, and he was scared that the surgery might not go on well. So he decided that he was not going to make himself available for it. And then that had a great impact on him because he wasn't aware. So the things that he was supposed to do, medications and all that, he wasn't even on the medication. Wow. And we got to know this later part, I think. That's 2009. And at that time, it was already out of control. And then I think we went to the hospital, we were requested to come to Kolebu for some MRI. And things just went so fast.
So fast, yeah.
Well, at the time he said his tummy and he was admitted, they requested for catheter to be inserted. Once the catheter was inserted, he got paralyzed. That was how bad things were. And this whole thing happened so fast.
So fast.
You know. And then for you to go to the hospital and the doctor says, I want to speak to you, and you ask why, and the doctor was like, your case is a hopeless situation, and we have to discharge you. Yes, you have to discharge you to go home, and then you'll be coming back for checkups. And, you know, for the family to be able to try to rally, we were not ready for this. Because he wasn't well, he just went to the hospital, he was admitted, and next day they said, your case is a hopeless one, you need to go home. You know, it was a strong hit for the family, for you to accept the situation, knowing that the one you love so much is dying away and you do not have any control over it was really a difficult situation. So when finally he passed away, I said, see, I don't know what's best I can do to honor his memory. The best I can do is to ensure that everyone I meet gets to know about this condition. They should get themselves tested. At least know about it. If you know your status, you know how to go about managing the condition. It is not that bad, especially if you get yourself tested at an early time. You get to know about it, so you know how to go about it. So when I saw your story, I said, okay, I was really touched because yours was not only talking about your condition, you were really sensitizing people, and you were talking about the step-by-step processes that you've gone through, so you are where you are now. And I am happy to see you looking very healthy.
Thank you.
You know, you're looking very healthy.
When I read his diet books, I look at healthier.
Yes. So I was really happy, and I said, okay, let's meet up with you to get to know how you've been going through your journey, because you've really done well, and I feel so happy. and let's hear from you. You are a survivor, let me say so. And the words you give out there to encourage those who have not taken the efforts to get themselves tested.
Yeah.
And then to also take away that notion that it is that's bad, that you don't even want to go and get
And
yourself
find them. Yeah.
tested.
Yeah.
So we've done a number of projects, which I'll leave that to Mr. Lecher to talk about after you have spoken about your journey. Then we'll touch base on that. That is why we are here to visit you today.
Well,
Thank you.
fantastic. And I have to remind myself I'm not the host of this show, so I can keep quiet. But thank you very much for inviting me. And after I'd gone through my whole procedure, I said I have to sensitize all men to understand, that this thing is real.
Exactly.
The bad news is that once you turn 40 plus,
Exactly.
chances are you're going to have an enlarged prostate,
Exactly.
And so your safest bet is to keep checking,
Exactly.
And I'm saying it nicely, like I was checking. I wasn't checking that much. Occasionally, when I do my physicals, they would check my PSA. PSA means prostate specific antigen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think if it's something that your prostate glands are missing to your bloodstream, and that's how. Yeah. So anyway, mine got a little bit high, and the interesting thing is that I didn't feel any symptoms. I was okay. Normally they say frequency in urination.
Exactly.
There are all
Yeah.
these symptoms that you feel.
Yeah.
I was very, very okay. I wasn't, and I think also what misled me a bit is that I'm very, very active in terms of exercise.
Okay.
Yeah. Every morning I have to walk a minimum of 6K, that
Wow.
kind of lifestyle,
Yeah.
Every morning I either go to Legon to walk or go to the gym and do the treadmill. It was something that I
Was
did
part
all the
of
time,
you. Yeah.
So my mind was, I must not have anything serious,
Yes.
You
are keeping healthy.
I'm
Yeah.
keeping healthy. You can't be doing all these walks in the morning and you're not well.
Exactly.
So even though I saw that the PSA was going high, I was like, oh, well, but I'm okay. So now when I'm advising people, I tell them, I think there's a difference between being healthy and being fit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was very, very fit,
It's
but
not
evidently
healthy.
not healthy.
Yeah.
But you assume that once you are fit, you are healthy.
Exactly.
It's like an automatic thing. So that's what I learned. And the way it happened was I had a friend who worked at the gym where I go to, who left the gym and went to join the American Rejuvenation Center, some male clinic, that does testing. So my friend kept encouraging me, oh, please come and do your PSA, let's da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I'm a strong guy, man, I'm fit, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But he kept calling, so one day it was almost like, okay, for your sake,
Yeah,
I'll go and
I'll
do
do it
it.
for you.
that.
No one near you. I'll go and do it and shame you.
Yeah.
So I went to do the test, and the results came, and the doctor called me in, and he said the PSA was too high. And when it's enlarged, it is high, But when it is high, it doesn't necessarily mean it is
It's a cancer.
cancerous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he thought it was high, and the only way you can find out whether it is high with cancer or high and benign is to do, what do you call that thing?
Biopsy.
Biopsy. So he scheduled me to come in for a biopsy. And incidentally, that time I was going to my daughter's wedding outside Ghana. So I told my daughter, I want to schedule an appointment for me. When I come, I want to go and do the biopsy. So I left Ghana very, very fit. I was okay. The PSA was kind of high, but I was strong. I was okay. And so I went there. They did their own PSA to make sure that the numbers were right. They thought it was high. So they scheduled me for a biopsy, which I went. And took about a week to get the results out, And here I must commend Ghana. When you go to MDS Lancet,
Yeah,
you go there in the
yeah,
morning,
yeah.
by 2 p.m. it's in your email.
Yeah, yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So here when I went to the US, I said, oh, if even in Ghana I can do morning and get it by 2 p.m. there, this one I can't wait and get it. Surprisingly, it took like almost a week or so before the results came out.
Yeah, I'm sure they were doing.
Doing all sorts of
quality control.
Yes.
They wouldn't want to give you a bad news.
Yes.
And they are not
that
sure
they have
later
not
come
really
to
checked. So
You're very right. You're
I'm
very
sure.
right. So it took a while, and then when he came in, we had a conference call with the doctor, and he says, "Well, I'm sorry to give you the bad news, because the biopsy indicates that there is some cancer, and so we have to do the next step. I think the word is metastasized." When the cancer goes into spreads into other parts.
Metastatized.
Yeah. This is
Metastatized.
metastasized. I never.
So they wanted to check whether it has
Yes.
spread
Once it came in, they said I should do a few more tests so that they can check. So I think I did. I don't remember the names. I did a bone scan for them to check whether it had crept into any of the bones. Fortunately, it hadn't. Then I did a PET scan to check whether it had crept into the organs, my kidney, my liver, other vital organs. So I did the PET scan. Fortunately, it came, and it hadn't. And they did one other scan. I think that was the MRI. I don't know what they were checking, but they did a third one. All this time they took about a month. Doing all these various tests. And so the good news for me then was that
it has not spread to other parts
you do
of your
have cancer,
body.
but fortunately for you, it hasn't spread.
Can be managed.
Yes, but I have 2 months
to get this done.
Yeah, to get it done, or then it will start spreading.
Going bad.
Yeah, and if it's a very aggressive one there, then So I basically had 2 months, and so it's funny because I guess it was because the visa requirements or something, I had to come to Ghana
and go back
and do it, because the other one was expiring, so I had to get a longer one and then go back, So I came to Ghana. I was still doing my workouts, by the way, because I wasn't still feeling anything. I just knew that my prostate had enlarged and I had cancer. But I still made sure I kept on with my routine. And so I went back, and they did I think they call it robotic. They did just a small incision here. It's just about 1 inch long, and they put some robot in there straight to go to your prostate glands. And mine, they said that the way it has spread, fortunately, it hadn't spread to any of my vital parts, but it was quite spread. So the decision was made that they should get rid of the entire prostate glands. Yeah. So they took the whole thing, and then put me on the what every man hates to encounter, catheter. What every man hates to encounter, I was put on it, And I want to be real for men to understand, that I've gone through all this. Look at me sitting here.
Exactly.
Exactly. So don't let the fear of that keep you from anything, So anyway, I was put on it, and then I did the surgery, not the surgery, but the robotic thing. And I was there for about a month, doing small exercises, walking and everything, until the catheter was removed. And I think about a month later, they said, "Okay, you're okay.
You're good to go.
Good to go." So I came to Ghana, and when I was coming, they said, "Still keep checking your PSA." So I came back, and I think after a month, I went to check the PSA, and the results was, by the way, it went as high as 66.
Okay, that's high.
That's high. That's high. That's almost stage 1 in cancer level or something like that, So anyway, so after the surgery and I came to Ghana and I did the PSA, I think it was 0.2,
Okay.
which means that drastically
Well
dropped,
done.
Yeah.
But I went again the next month and it was 0.3,
Okay.
You start asking why is it not going up?
So I went back again the third time and I think he had reached 4, So I called the doctor and he says he's not happy, because it means that
There's
there's
something
some
so
stubborn one
sad.
hiding
Yeah.
somewhere. So you need to come back. I said, but you're taking out the whole thing.
And what else is there?
You're taking out the whole thing. He says there was something called lymph nodes, something, and it's possible that there was some hiding.
Infections,
Yeah,
yeah.
So I should come back. But since they've done the surgery and taking the whole thing out, when I come back this time, I was going to do radiation.
Okay.
So they actually scheduled me for 33 episodes of radiation.
Ooh.
Every morning, Thankfully, it doesn't hurt. It's almost like just taking an X-ray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The difficult part of the radiation is you have to drink a lot in the morning, get your stomach very
Yeah,
full,
bladder very
till
high.
fill up your bladder
Yeah.
till you feel like peeing. Then they go and radiate you. So I did 33 episodes of radiation. Um, and the Americans want everything to be fun. After my 33rd radiation, when they finished, I was actually given a certificate for graduation. So I graduated from my radiation.
Yeah.
So stayed there for a bit more, and then he said, "I'm good to go."
Okay.
But go and check your PSA definitely. So I came back again, and then when I checked my PSA, it was 0.01. And he was very happy
Yeah.
because he says technically that meant that there were no traces of cancer.
Anymore.
Yeah. So basically, he said, well, we are all hoping for the best, but you can practically call yourself a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
So that was my story. So I did they removed the prostate gland, and then I went back for the radiation, 33 episodes actually, and then after that, I've come back, and my last check was 0.01, and it says once I'm in the 0.0, hopefully I don't exceed 0.04, but
Yeah. Okay.
technically there are no traces of cancer. So that in the nutshell has been
The
the
journey.
journey. And I always tell people early discovery was
It's
the best.
key, yeah.
Because when they spotted it, even though I had cancer, it hadn't metastasized into any other
Other
part.
organ.
Part of
Yeah.
the body.
So luckily, they could just get rid of the prostate cancer, and then later on, I went back to do radiation, and technically, I'm back. And another piece of advice that I'll give to fellow Ghanaians is that a little bit of exercise really helps.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Because I remember one of the comments the doctors made was that, do you work out?
Okay.
And I said, yeah, I do my little walks there, da, da, da. And so he said that, yeah, because all throughout the surgery, my vitals were very, very good.
You were active.
Yeah, my vitals were very, very good. So they could tell that I'm somebody who's
Very
active.
active,
Yeah,
yeah.
And even when I was doing the radiation, where the hospital was about a mile from where the Airbnb I was staying in.
Oh, so
Every
you're
morning.
walking
Every morning I walk 1 mile to the
the hospital.
hospital, do the radiation, and walk
walk
1 mile
back.
back. Yeah,
Wow.
every day.
Wow.
And I had a friend who was going through something similar in the UK, and he was telling me, how do I do it? Because he gets so weak that when he finishes, he has to come home with an Uber and all of that. But the doctor was telling me it was because that I walked there and walked back, because I was physically active, it helped.
Yeah.
So that's an advice that I will give out there, that do your best to,
Exercise.
Yeah, so that has been my story, really.
And all these things happened when?
This is all last year.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because I remember when they did the biopsy, I was 65 then
Okay.
when I did the biopsy. And what really scared them was that my eldest brother died from prostate cancer.
You see.
Yeah.
So this, they used to say that if we have a case at home or in the family, the potency
history
of somebody having it is very high.
Yeah.
So I think my daddy's older brother had it. By that time, I don't think they knew
it was.
Yeah.
And then when he died, a year after my uncle died of prostate, and he came immediately after my dad. He also died of prostate. So then it made me read a lot about prostate.
Yeah.
A lot about it. And I know people who had similar lines like that. Somebody had it, the next person in the family also had it. So once there is a case
the
like
family,
that,
the family history.
So that calls for more screening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once you know of the family history, you should take good care of yourself.
Exactly. And my eldest brother, he died at 62.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the doctors, that's a red flag because that was then 65,
Okay, so you're kind of scared.
And if your brother had that at 62, then, so they did the screen, like you said, all these tests up and down, because...
Yeah, but the one thing I noticed was that you were very obedient with
the
steps.
Exactly.
So there was no delays.
No.
And that also would have helped a lot. But the punchline for me was your healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that was, I have been into promoting healthy lifestyles. So when babies approached me about the dream of setting up the foundation to educate, I realized that no, there's no point in waiting or refusing to join. So we try to marry promotion of healthy lifestyles with the prostate cancer awareness.
Fantastic.
So we don't just go into communities to screen alone.
You educate them on lifestyle as
when
well.
You go into it medically, nobody really knows what causes prostate cancer and cancers in general. But there are lifestyle factors that are associated with it. Smoking history, alcohol abuse, being obese, and having all the other lifestyle conditions which weakens the immunity. So I'm sure that one of the reasons why yours did not spread was because you were fit, all your organs were working well, the system was strong, immunity was high. So those are the factors. So when you advised that people should exercise, I think I really want to I liked that aspect a lot. Yes.
So one other thing that I mentioned, that when my dad heard about his situation, when he was first diagnosed, he was scared. And that was the reason why he didn't even want to go for the surgery. When you heard about yours, were you scared?
When he told me that it was enlarged and that I needed to do a biopsy, that was the first time I was like, But then again, I was so confident that I had such a healthy lifestyle in terms of exercising. My healthiness doesn't really creep into the food eating. With the eating, I'm very bad. I have to admit,
We are going to start a journey to get you to eat well from today.
Yes. But in terms of exercising and things, I am on the spot. So even when he said I should do a biopsy, I was like, we'll get over this, So at the moment when we did the conference call and the doctor said, well, the bad news is, they have seen cancer cells or whatever all over the place. That time, it really shook me, it really shook me. And of course, he was quick to add that I should be aware that, how did he put it? He said, people do not die from prostate cancer, but they can die of prostate cancer.
Oh, okay.
They don't die from it, but they can die of it.
Yeah.
So it means that you can actually do something about it.
Yes.
If you don't do it, then you die of it.
Yeah. Unless I'm not saying it well, it means you can have prostate cancer, but that is not what was going to kill you.
Yes.
Maybe some other.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because my understanding is once you get other parts of your organs affected by the cancer, your system is actually open to any kinds of infections and diseases, which you
Exactly.
may not be able to
Exactly.
fight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when the immunity goes down,
Goes down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, multiple organ disorders, so
Exactly.
the other organs rather can be the reason why people die.
Yeah.
But
So
was there an instance where blood was required for you?
no,
Not
no.
at all.
I never got any instant of blood. Yeah. I never. Had a few bouts with hemoglobin. They said it had dropped,
Drop,
you know.
yeah.
But that they said because I was sickle cell as well, it was natural for it to drop, you know. Even though at one point they thought it had dropped too low, even for a sickle cell person. You know.
One of the effects of cancer treatments could be the deep reduction in the blood cells. Even the white blood cells go down. So that further reduces immunity, the ability to fight
Yeah.
infections and all that. So when you said people will die of the condition, those are some of the effects, some of the reasons why. Yeah, so some people on treatment are actually warned or advised about food hygiene, because when you're on treatment, you can pick up opportunistic infections because the white cells have gone down, the red
Okay.
cells have gone down.
Yeah.
So food hygiene is one thing that those undergoing treatment are supposed to
supposed
take
to
serious all the time. You don't just eat from anywhere.
Yeah.
You wash your fruits, you wash your hand. You know, when COVID came and we were judiciously washing our hands with soap and running water, it saved us from a lot of other problems, including cholera and all that. So that's how it is. You should have that healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that May Foundation we do when we go into the programs. Usually, we want to use the medium to say what we do as well, right?
Definitely.
We target rural communities. We know that, I mean, a lot of people in Accra may one way or the other have access to medical care. But then there are people in the hinterlands
Yes.
who
Yes.
may
They
not
don't-
even,
yeah.
may never be able to get themselves tested of
Yeah.
prostate.
Yeah.
Even if they die of prostate cancer, it could be that maybe a certain god has done this, or
Yes,
a witch
yes,
has done that,
yes,
or not.
yes,
So
yes.
we target going into the hinterlands. So far, we've been to some rural communities in the Volta region, and it's about telling people about the condition. We put together a whole medical team to educate the men about the condition, and also we go beyond that to test them for.
Test them
So
for-
we run tests to see if anybody has the condition in the community, and on top of that, we give them the healthy lifestyle education.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't so much entertainment in a lot of the rural areas. So people rely on drinking alcohol, and that is their main form, especially the men. When they gather, they are either gathering over palm wine or akpeteshi and all that.
Yeah.
And we know that abusing substances, alcohol and cigarette and all that, can be, and even secondary smoking. When someone smokes and puffs it out and you inhale it, they are associated factors for the
Yeah.
development of prostate and other cancers. So that's part of that. So we are really passionate about this, getting information to people and also running tests. And you know, it costs a lot to move into the communities and all that. So we need a lot of partners. We need companies. We need individuals.
Yeah.
Who can reach out through the show to the May's Foundation to assist us in these community awareness programs.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So I'm really happy to see you very healthy, still kicking, and congratulations for fighting it. Many are those who were not able to make it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see you here, and you're telling your story to encourage the men out there that they should come out to get themselves tested.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy. So we'll pick the last words from you, and Dr. Lecha will we'll be wrapping it up. And
Yeah,
also, I
guess.
think
Sorry.
I think we also would be having a number of projects in the year and the coming months, and we will be reaching out to you in case you are available.
Definitely.
You may come along with us so that when they hear the story from the survivors themselves, they see hope that yes, their stories, the stories are real, and that there is hope that they can also go through this journey successfully. So we'll plead with you that when the time comes, you'll be able to make some time for us to just be in our midst. Thank you so much. So I'll hand over to Dr. Lecha.
Yeah, so when our director said we have to talk to KSM, I was like, wow, that's going to really help our project. And when I heard you on TV, and I was really encouraged because, you know, one aspect of healthcare that has been lacking in our part of the world especially is education on prevention. We focus so much on treatment. So when you speak and with all the following you have, we all enjoy your show and we grew up being entertained and all that. It was good, and I'm sure that you got so many people to really get themselves tested, and you've affected lives, actually saved a lot of lives. Not just about being the doctor to do the surgery before you can save lives, but then you've done your bit. We are very grateful for your time. And when I was coming, I said, no, I have to present my books to you.
Oh, wow.
I have written 3 books on diet and diseases. So you should understand why I was so happy to hear that you were educating people on prevention, because that's the lifeblood of my work. Try to teach people to prevent the lifestyle diseases.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So this is Live Long by Eating Well. For you.
Live long by eating well. Lovely.
All you need to do to live long like the people of old in the Bible lived. You get them from these books. And also be your own dietitian. Let me show it to the camera.
Be your own dietitian. This is fantastic.
Commonly asked diet questions. So
wow.
You may be wondering whether the quantity of milk you add to your tea, or even with your condition, can you eat milk? Can you eat meat? Can you take beans? I mean, these are the book is focused on
fantastic.
Things like that.
This is fantastic, yeah.
That's also for you. And the third one is titled Eating to Prevent and Manage Lifestyle Diseases. Diabetes, hypertension, obesity, high cholesterol. In your story, you mentioned that the doctor said you were fit. If probably you had one or two of these conditions, probably the system would have been weaker. And the chances of surviving the cancer would have been much lower, right?
Yeah.
So we have to teach everybody to be like you and be healthy as well. So this also.
Oh, fantastic. I really do need these because the way I control my weight is, they said something is called intermittent fasting.
And all that.
Everybody says it's not good,
so
especially at my age.
Exactly.
I'm now 66.
After this show, we are also going to put you on diet.
Okay.
The healthy WHO approved way of eating, which will help you to stay healthy.
Okay. I'm ready.
Thank you. Thank
so we'll take the final words from you. Your final words.
Final.
Yeah.
Well, this is just, by the way, I've got so many people who have written to me about local concoctions that they say can cure prostate, you know. So I just wanted to warn Ghanaians, I'm not against anything local, you know, at all. I wish that one day somebody who does the local medication will get a prostate cancer patient, take them to the ward, do their biopsy, so we all know that this person has cancer, and then take them through their local portion, and at the end they come out cancer-free. Then we know.
Test them afterwards.
Yes, they test them.
The whole thing has to be scientific.
Very scientific, you know, because what I realize is that everybody assumes that once you have an enlarged cancer, you have prostate. You have an enlarged prostate means you have cancer. Sorry.
It's not always so.
It's not always so. So I think that sometimes what the local medicine can do nicely is probably shrink the prostate, you know,
Exactly.
and it brings it to, you know, but it is not cancer that it is dealing with. So I just wanted people to understand out there that please make sure that it is scientific, you know.
Certified.
I'm sitting here today and I'm an example of, you know, surviving this thing. So that's my last words.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you.
My pleasure.
I will
my
be
pleasure.
coming up to check up
Definitely.
on you all the time. We'll
Definitely.
be coming to check up
You
on
can take my number from, I'll give you my number. I think
Sure.
Matilda asked me whether she can give me a number. And somehow I thought I responded. It was just now I was going through my, you know, then I realized, oh, I never responded to her regarding that. But of course,
Sure.
you can have my number and call me
Sure.
anytime.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And have a nice evening.
Thank you.